Emmanuel, I think you can start now.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Emmanuel, and I'll be taking the introduction to JavaScript for front-end side of things. I hope everybody can hear me.
Yes.
All right. I'll be sharing my screen so I can. Yeah. All right. So like I said, I'll be taking you introduction to JavaScript, and we'll be talking more of the web than the server side. So, what is JavaScript? I believe one of our tutors already talked about the definition, what JavaScript is, what it is being used for, and the like. So I will just skip through these introductions and go straight to the practical part of things. All right. So on the front end, when we are talking about JavaScript, you want to bring JavaScript into your website. Because ideally, without JavaScript, your website is just website. It's just content filled up with text, images, and the like. But to make your website more interesting and interactive, you need JavaScript. And how do you bring JavaScript into your website? There are three practical ways of bringing JavaScript to your website. I believe you must have gone through some HTML classes, so you understand what tags and elements are. So now the first method of bringing JavaScript into your HTML file is directly writing the JavaScript code inside the script tag. So I'll open my VS Code so we can follow through and run through it together. So let me start HTML structure and have something up and running. So I have an extension on my VS Code so I can open with live server. So that will give me a port on my website, and I can go through that. So now whatever I write in this code automatically shows up on my browser screen. So let's say I do something like welcome to JavaScript or something. Yeah, once I save that, it comes up on the browser. But this is not where we are going. Where we are going is bringing in JavaScript to the website. As it is now, there's nothing that you can do on this website, just plain text and nothing else. So, like I said, to bring in JavaScript, first method is writing your JavaScript code directly inside the script tag. So, let me try writing the JavaScript code without putting it inside the script tag and see what happens. So there is a method called alert. Um, this is an alert. Sorry, that should be inside. Yeah. What happens? It just come up as ordinary text, like normal text. So, but when I create a script tag, script element, and put this code inside, yeah, ideally the color will change whenever it's inside a JavaScript tag, showing that okay, this is a JavaScript and not just ordinary HTML or text. text file. So if I save this now, we have something different. Now, instead of having just ordinary text, what do we have? We have an alert. Something telling us that, okay, this is an alert. So you can save that. And if I refresh again, it comes up. So that is first method of bringing in JavaScript into your HTML page. The second I'm sorry about that. My network just went off, but I'm back. So, as I was saying, the second method bring JavaScript in into your HTML file is importing it from another file within your project directory or folder. So, I was talking about a source attribute present on the script tag. So you can do something like the path of the file, which is for me here is dot, that is the same directory. It means that they are in the same folder slash the name of the file and then the extension. So I can save that. This alert is still coming from this one we have here. So I can comment it out and then save again. Now, if I go to my sample.js file, there's nothing here. That is why nothing is coming up. So here now, I can do another alert. Say this is from the external file and save that. Once I save, you can see that we have the alert coming from the external file that we have here. And if I go back to the HTML file, you can see the first alert is not here, but we can have the second alert from the external file. So that's the second method of bringing in JavaScript to your file. The third method is loading it from a different endpoint or from an external link. So for example, here you have the split tag, and then I have a bootstrap JavaScript code. Now this bootstrap is used for styling in HTML and all of those things. So what this script does for me is bring in the codes that are in this external link, bring them into my web page, and then I can make use of them as I want. Just just like what I have in the second method. So it's similar. The only difference is that one is from your local or from your project directory. The other one is from another location on the internet. All right. What you need to know to write JavaScript successfully. Now we have about five basic things that you need to know for you to like write JavaScript successfully. Now you have the general syntax, that is what and what should you put together to form a JavaScript code. We have the data types. Data types is talking about the kinds of data or values that you need to write in JavaScript. You need variables and keywords. You need mathematical operations and logical operations. Now, the JavaScript syntax, the list of things that you need to like pay attention to when we are talking about JavaScript syntax. Number one, you have fixed values. So let me go back to my GS code and let me hide this. Yeah. So fixed values are talking about example is when you have two. Two is the data type is a number in JavaScript, and this value cannot change. Two cannot be three tomorrow, cannot be 10 next tomorrow. The value is constant, it's not changing. Now, another one is we have variable values. Variable values are values that you get from fixed values. So you have something like const a equal to let me use flex here. Don't worry, we'll still get back to what let is. Let a to be equal to 5. Now, the variable value here is whatever value that it is in A. So A today is 5. If I come down here, I can say A to be equal to 10. So it is very possible because A here has a variable value. It means the value can change. Unlike 5, 5 is 5. Like 5 cannot change into anything else. 5 will always be 5. So that is a fixed value. Now, another one is literals. Literals are values also in JavaScript. Literals are things that you have, and they're also constant value. Example of literal is also a number, or you can add a string that is a name. Say Emmanuel. Yeah, Emmanuel here is a literal. 5, which is the number, is also a literal. Then we have variables and identifiers. Variables are containers in JavaScript. They are like cups that hold your water. So you can put values in variables. So for example, what I did here is I have my hair as a variable, which is a container. It can hold any kind of value. And then I saved 5 in it, so that whenever I call A will give me 5. It's just like when you go to a river, you put water inside a bowl, you go back home, then you pour the bowl and the water in the bowl with another container or use it for something else. So variables are like containers. They hold your values, and then they are also called identifiers because they help you to know, okay, this value I saved here, how can I get it whenever I need it? So they are also called identifiers. All right. Now we talk about assigning values, computing values in JavaScript. So for uh, assigning or declaring variables, rather, when I want to declare a variable, what I did earlier was declaring a variable, but let's do it the proper way now. So to declare a variable, there are three ways you can declare variables in JavaScript. So you can declare variable by doing something like var name equal to Chloe. You can do let price be equal to 50. Price is supposed to be a string, let's say $50. And then you can do const age be equal to 21. Now, these are the three ways you can declare variables in JavaScript. So you can use var name. Var name is telling you, okay, I want JavaScript to create a container for me that will hold any kind of value. You can use let price, or you can use const price. Now, there are differences between these three types of declaration. Now, the first one, the basic or the main category of difference between declaring variables is the scope of the
Please be patient, guys. Emmanuel will be joining us very soon.
Guys, I'm so sorry about my network. It just decides to like mess up at this particular period of time. Not usually like this. So as I was saying, I was talking about scope of variable. So I said when you declare a variable with var, it means the variable will be available throughout the file, regardless of the position of that particular variable. If you declare a variable with let, now the difference between let and var is that let will only be available within a scope inside a particular file. So let's say I have a function x to do this, and I say let a to be equal to 2, sorry, 3. Now, a here is not available outside of this particular function. This block has covered it, so it's only available within this scope. That's when you declare a variable with let. If you declare a variable with const, right? Const and let are similar in terms of scope. That is, they are only available within the scope for const and let. But the difference between let and const is that you can change the value of any variable declared with let. So you can say a to be equal to 7. There won't be any complaint. But if you declare a variable with say const c equal to 2, now and you do something like c equal to 8, now the code will complain to tell you you can't assign another value into a variable you declared with const. So if I'm going to be practical about this, I'll open my console and show you what the error would look like. Okay, let's do something like this. So this is my browser. Let me open my console. Yeah. Go to inspect. As you go to your console, you right click on your browser, anywhere on your browser, and you go to inspect. So inspect will open up this side of things for you. You can go to console. So from console now, you can whatever you do in your JavaScript and you console.log it using something like this method, console.log. It will return the results for you on your console. So far, the script is inside your web page. Now, let me comment this and do this outside of the function. Let me do const. Okay, I already declared const b. Let me set a value to it equal to 10. And let me do b equal to 5 and save. So if you throw an error, okay, I already declared something here. Yeah. So yeah, you can see the error I'm getting now. Uncaught type error. Assignment to constant variable add. So it gives me the line where the error is coming from. And if I click on this, it will show me where the error is. So I'm declaring a variable with const, and then I'm assigning another value to it after it has been declared. So it's throwing the error telling me that I can't assign another value into a variable I declared with const. So let me change this to let and do console.log b. Let me go back to my console and save. So when I save this, you can see I have a result here before. So what it's telling me is that, okay, I declared a variable b to be equal to 10, and then I changed the value from 10 to 4 by assigning another value to it. So at the end of the day, the value has changed from 10 to the value I set it to be here, which is what I have on the console. Now that is the difference between var, let, and const. So to go over it again, for var, when you declare a variable with var, var is available throughout the file, and then it's changeable. Like you can change the value of, if I change this onto var now and do this is equal to say 20. If I save it, I have my answer it to be 20. So for var, it is available throughout the file, and then you can change the value. For let, you can change the value, but it is only limited to the block in which it was declared. For const, it is limited to the block, and also you can't change the value. So that's the difference between var, let, and const. Now, the next thing you have to like be careful about is case sensitivity in JavaScript. JavaScript is case sensitive. So what I mean by that is I already declared var to be small b here. Let me change this to let. So when declaring variable, I missed that. I was supposed to tell you that, okay, we now use more of const and let in JavaScript because it reduces chances of changing values of variables when you don't intend to. So it's preferably to use let and const when you are declaring your variable. For me personally, if I'm not going to change the value of a particular variable, I would prefer to use const. So for this example, I will go for const. So const a equal to 20. And then what I'm going to talk about was the case sensitivity. So I can also do const a to be equal to 10. Now, small a and capital A, they are two different variables in JavaScript, telling you that JavaScript is case sensitive. You can't declare a variable with small letter a and try to access the value with capital letter A. So const small a to be equal to 20. And then at this point, let me move this one up here and comment this out also. So it's telling me uncaught error, reference error. A is not defined. But you might be wondering, I declared A here. No, what you declared, or what I declared is small a and not capital A. So that is to tell you that JavaScript is case sensitive. And when I change the capital A back to small a, I have my expected result. So that is about case sensitivity. And then the next thing that we'll talk about in JavaScript is mathematical operations. So for JavaScript, there are different operations that you can a particular operation or stuff like that. So those are mathematical operations that are available in JavaScript. So let me show you an example. For addition now, we have const a to be equal to 30. Sorry about that. Const b equal to, let's say, 2. So this is me declaring and assigning a value to my variable. So I want to do addition here. So let me do this. So for addition, I can have const c to be equal to a plus b. For subtraction, I have const b equal to a minus b. For multiplication, I have multiplication. I have const E equal to A multiplied by B. For division, I have const F equal to A divided by B. So these are different operations that you can do in JavaScript. For remainder, so you have const G equal to let's do C remainder. So for remainder, you use percent. That's the sign for percent. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to console.log all of these values. Console.log C equal to Q. Let me just copy this and paste a couple of times. So, okay, this is C, this one should be. Yeah, so let me go to my console and see what I have here. So, okay, I already have identifier declared. Okay, it means that I already declared A somewhere up here. Yeah, and if you check the error, you see it's telling me I declared const A equal to 30 here, but already I declared another A up here. So that's why it's showing that error for me. So let me just simply console.log this and save again. Yeah. So for addition, we have our A is 30, B is 2. So for addition, we have C equal to A plus B, which is 32. That is correct. D is A minus B, which is 32 minus 30 minus 2, which is 28. Multiplication is A times B, which is 60, correct. Division is 30 divided by 2, which is 15, that is correct. And then remainder is C. Our C here is what? C is 32. 32 divided by 3. The remainder we have is 2, which is also correct. Now, for exponential, so const h equal to, now for exponential, what you have to do is just do 2 asterisk. So I can do 8 double asterisk 2. So the answer I'm expecting is that should be 64. So if I do console.log h equal to plus h, yeah, h equal to 64. So these are the common mathematical operations that we have in JavaScript. So now let me use this opportunity to explain something. What is happening here? So inside this console.log, I'm doing C equal to plus C. Now, I forgot to mention about something. I didn't talk about data types. So in data types, sorry, let me quickly go over data types. So in data types, there are two categories of data types that we have in JavaScript. We have the primitive data type, and then we have the non-primitive data type. So for primitive data type, we have 3. We have strings, we have number, and we have Boolean. Now, for string, example of a string is, let me do const ab equal to, let me use name instead, equal to none here. So here now, this value you have here is a string. This is how you declare a string. And there are two ways you can declare a string. You can declare a string with double quotes, or you can declare a string with single quotes. Both of these, they are string, whether it's single quotes, whether it is double quotes. So that is one example of primitive data type. Another data type that we have is number. So number, you can have const age is equal to 60. So 60 is a number. You have something like const percentage equal to 0.6. So whether it has a point or it doesn't have a point, it is still a number. For Boolean, there are two example of Boolean, which is true or false. There is no other value that can be Boolean. Boolean is just true or false. So you have const is dark equal to true, or you can have const is Nigerian equal to false. You can't take any other value. It's just true or false. Now, what I'm trying to explain back here is about string. Now, I have value of number here, and then I'm adding to a string. So, what is going on? What is happening? So, there's something in JavaScript called concatenation, or and also type conversion. Now, what is happening inside this console.log is that I'm adding a string to a number. So what JavaScript will do is that it will convert the number into a string and then concatenate it. So concatenation is like adding two strings together. Example of concatenation is if I do, now I have first full name equal to name plus so I have, let me put space plus last name. Okay, so why is it on cancelled out? Name is deprecated. So this variable name looks like a keyword. So it's saying it's deprecated. Let me use first name instead. So first name, yeah. So and this. So what is here is I am concatenating. So let me make this bigger. should save this. So if I should save this, I have my full name showing here. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is function. So in JavaScript, you can declare function in you can declare function in two ways. So the first method of declaring a function is using this format: function add number. So function add number, you can then it's taking, let's say it's taking two arguments, A and B. And then we do something like const sum equal to A plus B. Then you can do console.log sum or return sum. Now, this is a function. If I go back to my console and save the code, nothing happens because I just declared a function, but I didn't call it. So for me to call a function, I can do something like add numbers. And then add number is taking two arguments, A and B. So I want to add two numbers. Which two numbers am I adding? 3 and 6. So if I do something like this and save, I have my the answer console.log console on the console rather, sorry. So this is one way of declaring a function. Another way of declaring a function is using the lambda function, that is the arrow function. So I can do something like add numbers d2 equal to a comma b to give me, I can just copy the same code. The only difference is there should be a fat arrow here. Yeah. So the only difference is removing the word function here and then introducing a fat arrow. So this function is going to do the same thing. So let me do add numbers d2, and let me add 3 and 4 again, 3 comma 6 rather. So yeah, okay, let me add some to be equal to. So if I consider log this, you see it's still returning the same value. So these are like the two basic way of creating functions in JavaScript. Our time is fast spent, so I will just take questions now. If you have any questions, please you can ask the questions now.
So Emmanuel, someone is asking if semicolons are compulsory.
Okay. So I guess I'll be taking the questions on Slack. If you have any questions, please send them on the class channel so I can attend to them. So thank you for your time and see you some other time.